Okay, tested the microphone, check, 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 check. All right, seems like everything. All right, cool. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna try to avoid running afoul of the copyright gods. So, in an effort to do so, I just play against the most generic back. So when I was getting this channel set up, as many of us do, I had some old YouTube videos up, and I actually had a run through of Santana's Black Magic Woman that I posted. And I don't know, it wasn't great, but I guess I played the melody well enough that even that ran afoul of the YouTube copyright god. So I am going to be extra cautious as I do any of these things here on YouTube, and that is ultimately a plug for the Patreon side of things. There's a lot of stuff that should be covered under fair use that simply is not by default covered under fair use. And so what I mean is the only way for me to get that distinction is stayed on every single bit of content that I put out there. And we are a two-man team of which I do the lion's share of the work and ask my partner to do much less of the work. Don't want to. If you ever have any questions, and you see one of these streams up, please go ahead and get at me. Let's. wanted doing it to backing. About that. There's no way I'm just not gonna like that. They ain't like that at all. All right, let's just go. Not eat. Blues. Feels blue. As in my hard hit. Ah.
Ooh, I need to come clean. I don't remember algebra. Are they letters? Are they numbers? Pick one.
Let me see. Let me hear what it sounds. Interesting. At least it's not clipping out. Let's see, I can always reposition. My big thing is just making sure this pepperoni doesn't clip out on me when I'm doing the thingus. Because then it sounds like absolute trash and nobody wants to watch it. And that's the whole point of putting together a YouTube channel. Unless you're self-indulgent and just like seeing yourself on camera, which I have at best a love-hate relationship with. Hello. If you've got any questions here, go ahead and ask away. I'm going to pick out another track and give a little breaky poo. Like something I would never be motivated to take a 10-minute solo over anything that I've ever written in my entire life. So whenever I do one of these, I feel like I get to like minute 7 and I'm like, all right, what do I even possibly have left to fire at this progression? Which is kind of the whole point, is like, all right, you go through all of your regular bank of tricks and everything. You're like, all right, I've now fired all the stock material at it. What is actually left to be thrown at this? Or what could I try that's worth a damn? In that sense, that's actually what keeps me going back to, like, I mean, the reason why it's why I still practice blues progressions. It's not like anything necessarily in here that is revelatory, or if I wanted like something more revelatory, I guess I'd be using a something that is revelatory that is not over basic 145s. You need a reaction to a video that is under a minute long. My reaction to it is I don't know. It's seriously like one of the tough things on this website is I'm still not sure how people are getting away with clipping other people's videos and not having the automatic bots pinging copyright. Because I mean, for example, the self-taught legend video, I've talked about it a few times here, but I'm so happy to talk about it as much as I need to, this part of it at least. I got pinged for the song 4 being played and some other jazz standard being played by a live jazz combo. And so that has legitimately made me curious. How does the small stream not just end up getting flagged by this? I mean, so in those two cases, neither one of those were like copyright strikes. I want to make that totally clear. I'm not like, woe is Chris or anything like that. But they were copyright pings in the sense that I got a notice and it was like, no action needs to be taken, but the maker of this song actually reserves the right to flag this in the future. And so with that logic or that like moment in my YouTube career occurring, it certainly made me go, I don't know that I need more of this stuff. We're just going to try to keep this simple. So it's like, that's why the Ichka video is specifically about image captures or have like screen grabs versus actually playing these clips and breaking them down the way I would have liked to have done it in a different way. So that part is that part's the tricky part here. So for those of you interested, go and check it out. I mean, I'll since if you're on the stream, you're looking at this, I'll kind of spill my beans right now. Here's what I think is happening with him, but also a lot of other players that we are seeing on YouTube. And it's something that I wasn't necessarily attenuated to until the Giacomo controversy last year. And it's the sound of clean, compressed guitar sped up slightly. So, actually, here's a really good example. And also a shameless plug for my other video here. No, it is not. This is not the home of self-taught legend. I am the king of Spain. Let's keep this correct. I will never actually learn this song as in intellectual protest to the whole endeavor. But specifically here going back to Giacomo, Ichka, Martian, what I think is happening with these guys, these clean cone guys, something I never noticed until the Giacomo controversy really popped up. And that is the fact that I think what is occurring with a lot of this audio is sped up audio. So a real good kind of shameless plug from another video, but this actually works as a really good audio experiment too. Go to my Fast As You video yesterday, and I want you to take it and play it back at somewhere around like 1.1 or 1.15 speed, even like 1.25 speed. And tell me if that doesn't kind of sound like the industry standard audio that is going on right now. To this, you want me to react to my talk only video? I will not be reacting to my own videos, and I gotta be real honest. I'm done with self-taught legend guy. Y'all, he's not that interesting. He is a narcissist with some mental health issues, clearly, that are documented. The park episode is specifically what I am thinking of. This is a man who freely talks about himself being God. The whole reason we are even talking about him in the first place is that he had something akin to a cluster B type episode at a jazz club where he declared himself a legend of jazz, and the guy doesn't know how to play to a click track. I mean, there are roast videos out of his self-taught videos of Spain where other people are trying to play it. And I don't know, man. I don't have a lot more bandwidth for this guy in particular because I'm a dude doing my own channel trying to talk about things that go above and beyond this. And next month, none of y'all are going to care about self-taught legend. Like, you won't. And if you still care about him, get back on me on March 16th. I want you to come back here. I want you to tell me why you care about him, but not unless and until it is March 16th. Because I guarantee you that day is going to come. It's going to pass. You aren't going to care unless you went ahead and put a notification on your phone right now to be a contrarian. But I want you, if you're going to do the challenge, you got to do the challenge without setting up a notification. You got to do the challenge without so much as anything. All right. So, anyways, I want to go back to what I was trying to talk about, which is not Spain, man. That's all I'm saying. You don't want Spain guy. You don't like the Spain guy content. Don't ask about Spain guy. That's all I'm saying. So look, going back to this audio thing that I'm trying to talk about, which frankly is more interesting. I think what we are seeing when we are talking about Ichka, when we are talking about Giacomo, obviously, when we're talking about Martian, is we are seeing sped up audio. We are seeing people who are taking their audio and ever so slightly time compressing it. And that's not actually a thing that we can achieve in real life. And that's why we aren't seeing this stuff necessarily translating to live performances. I think there's obviously miming going on in these videos too. But I'm speaking specifically about the sound itself. Why is this so impossible to achieve? And the person who comes the closest to achieving their studio sound live to me is Martian, of these three people I've mentioned. Why is it so impossible to achieve? Well, you aren't able to go into Pro Tools or whatever and actually smush the sound. There we go. This is not about Spain. I don't know. I feel as though this is becoming about Spain. But if there is something to link to me, go ahead, man. Ooh, little dominant 3. Oh, okay, it's like Georgia. Okay, oh, okay. We're just gonna cycle around. It's like Gravity. No, it ain't. So this was about Spain, guy. I saw the Andy Warhol video. Yawn. if you run Maggot Brain at double speed, it turns into Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And yes, I can happily oblige that. I had somebody once like tell me like this is years ago, back when I was in college, but they like couldn't stop gushing about the Maggot Brain guitar solo. And I think like Eddie Hazel's guitar solo at the beginning of Maggot Brain is quite good. I think the production choice to remove everything but basically just that guitar solo was a really cool choice. And I know that it's inspired by the death of his mother. It's great. It's a really strong performance. My God, this guy thought that this was like the definitive guitar solo. He went on a very long time. Another anecdote like that from college is one time me and a homie of mine were at a party, and this dude had us more or less locked in the corner for about 10 minutes going off about Tool's Lateralis, but specifically track 4. To this day, I do not know the name of the 4th song on the album Lateralis. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. But I can tell you that the phrase track 4 is just like etched in my brain. And that was not that recently ago here. All right, here comes. This is not Maggot Brain, but this will be. I feel like this calls for the phaser, right? See, if you double the speed on this, it turns into Can't Stop. So you go. Flat. Feel my tune is drifting. Alright, which one's that tune? I feel like it's gotta be the G, right? Maybe that E. Tuning with a phaser. See, this will be mine. I gotta remember that. I no longer trust my tuning and no longer know how to find it. And that is a good time to pause for the cause. I have 4 cats for those of you playing my home game here. See if you can eventually find them all on the So I'm not gonna lie. I actually, I have like tuners and stuff, but there's this website, tuner-online.com, that I find actually is a pretty solid tuner if you're in a pinch. Okay, no, you shouldn't tune with a phaser. in my opinion. I don't know if my teacher taught me that or if that's common sense prevailing. Oh, tuning. In addition to metronomes, I think self-taught legend guy could tune more. We could all tune more, really. We open up our hearts and our minds to the process. Alright, that little volume boost is actually the tremolo pedal and the effect loop. I don't normally use the source audio one that often, just because what remarkably human backing track is this gonna be like no, Almost Human's the Kiss song. Unless this is going to be Almost Human, which I would totally vibe on. All right, let's see what Nick. There's another gentleman who is like trying to retail his backing tracks, and I feel bad because I don't know, like, from just like a pure commercial standpoint, right? What utility, like, not sound like a Marxist or whatever, but like, what is the actual economic value of backing tracks? Like, how much can you reasonably ask for these? Most of it for us students and continuing practicers, right? Like, or I guess if you're trying to pad a set, but there's so many of them out there, right? All right, so little tritone sub. I like that. Oh, of course, now it's not gonna go to tritone. All right. I like to, especially with my chord progressions, either have the chords up there if I'm just cold reading it, or at least try to take a listen to the track so that I know this is a cool track. Honestly, I don't know that I would waste this as a backing track. I feel like this is a chord progression that's kind of wasted as a backing track. But I want to know what the actual changes are here, because especially if I've got that. If I've got that to play around with, right, I want to know where that is. Because I don't want to just sit up here and I guess it'd be E flat, right? And then just hit a tritone. It's kind of vanilla. I want to extend the whole thing. And then my thing is, I hate, for whatever reason, changing from E minor to E flat is just one of those like brain fart moves when they happen right back to each other. Like that was almost a sentence, back to back from each other. It's like you are playing all those extensions up the board, right? And now that I have moved them back one fret, all that was correct is wrong, and all that was wrong is now correct immediately. Not to sound like Dimebag Darrell, I'm not saying I need the dots moved. I'm saying it hurt my brain a little bit when I had to do it right back and forth. It's like if I move into, if we come out of like A minor, I'm going to E flat minor. Okay, cool. No, don't think twice. But like for whatever reasons, because you basically are really, you're effectively playing them the same way, aren't we? Yeah, right now I got E flat minor, A major, A minor. No, oh no, I mean if you saw me, I got the chords down here, and then we got the B section here, A minor. Yeah, so. And then A minor. And then no, I got the crux of the chord progression here. Yeah, no, and no, you're right. It's not in. You were right the first time. It's in E flat. It is the one that I'm listening to here is in fact in E flat. So that's what I was saying. All right, this is the B section. No, I got the general gist of it. No, I like that. I like that, and you can kind of tackle that one a bit of different ways, right? Like that tritone move to me, I always think of that as like the sci-fi cadence or whatever, right? Like how many I've arrived on the distant planets, right? Or it actually works better as a minor, right? Like I feel like the minor like tritone version of that is the like the sci-fi cadences. There's a bunch like you could do with that progression. You can do like the whole tone scale too, right? And then there's probably some altered variations or whatever. I mean, in my head, the way I just conceive the out chords, I start with the arpeggio, and then if there's a spicy interval or two to pepper in, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And then also really just trying to like visualize playing through the chord to where it's going to spit out. So in this case, we've got that A major, and I might pepper that arpeggio a bunch of different ways, or pepper however I'm playing through that. But really my big thing is midway through, I'm now looking at that minor 4 chord, right? Like that, in this case, it's A flat minor, right? I'm looking at that and how I'm going to land in that. And for me, an easy visualization of how to land in that. When in doubt, when time is compressed, I would just kind of like start to visualize that A flat minor pentatonic box as a landing point, and then from there you can kind of treat it like the Dorian mode, or you've got a bunch of different options, right? Like so I can kind of like just having that little close rub or whatever. I think is like the most exciting stuff of taking advantage of the out chord, right? I mean, I only goes there. No, it's not. Is it a 7? No, it's not. No. That's a flat 6, right? So, yeah, right. So, anyways, I certainly shall. Now I want to see. Do we have an almost human backing track? Can I go to the Kiss Zone? I bet you there isn't. Because this is like kind of a deep cut Kiss track. Kiss drums, no music. Weird. And then there's like a bit remarkably human beings, probably human nature in here too. any number of different options. I don't want to do D. I really don't want to do 12 anymore. Like over 10, 12, all of these. We will return. G minor. Ace Frehley, rest in peace, homie, is actually one of my favorite guitar players. Not necessarily like Richard Lloyd's like my favorite like theory guitar player or whatever, but like to me, Ace really got the showman element of music that like in so many words, music is a visual business. And Kiss on those like 76 and 77 tours. I mean, obviously they're kind of gross dudes, and all the other things, all the other caveats that should be noted about them. But Kiss on those 76 and 77, like everything through, like when Ace leaves the band with Eric Carr still in the band, they're all fire. I am gonna go. I want to do G minor.
This always gives you more ways to save, like low prices in every aisle. Plus, you can.
Ooh, okay. All right. My volume cut. There we go. There's no wrong notes. Right. No. You bend a half step, and the thing is, they don't like it. Here's why. All right. This is why you came to the stream, right? Here's the music theory tip. You know why the jazz community hates bends so much? I'm gonna tell you right now. It's because it's the secret trick to getting any note that you've ever wanted to play ever before in your life. So that's the real trick. You get really light strings. Really light strings. It's also why the jazz community notoriously hates sitar players. You get light strings, high frets, and I want you to just practice every single scale and mode, bending it. And then watch how upset everyone at the jazz jam will be next time you come out with that. Because they're like, oh, this guy knows. He knows the trick. He knows the trick. And they're going to get nervous. They went to UNT. They went to Berkeley. They read the Barry Harris book. All this stuff. They read. And you know this one power tip that will fundamentally change your life forever. So you're welcome. You're welcome. That's the tip of the day. If you want to really jazz, really jazz, that's how you do it. I mean, again, so right now I'm using 12s. So my palate is limited. I like to think of this though as training weights for the jazz jam. Okay, so like obviously I can't get past that one. Try sevens. Like Billy said, why are you working so hard? See, I mean, I'm a huge fan of anyone busting on these rules. Like literally the only thing where I might agree with our aforementioned friend on is that like, so I was a product of UNT. Like not as in I finished my music degree at UNT. I want to make that really clear here. But like I did go into UNT. All of my friends and bandmates in college, at least in several of my bands, were like UNT guys. I think there is utility in music school. However, what ends up happening with any of these programs or curricula is an educational myopic approach, where despite bringing in different voices, it's almost paradoxical. You bring in all these different people, right? But what ends up happening is you are grounded in on one approach. So like when I was at UNT, I don't know how it is these days. I haven't been out to Denton, Texas in many years. Thank God for that. But back when I was in Denton, Texas, the knock on all of my fellow like jazz college students and stuff like that did kind of stick with me because it felt right, is that all these dudes come out playing somewhat similar. That's not to say that there were no distinct personalities there. For example, like I was going to school at the same time as Chris McQueen, who at that point was in a group that was like a combination of jazz and the band Queen. Pretty fire. We opened for them one time and I was just like watching going like, damn, dude, I've got much to learn up here. Oh, that guy was really, I'm sure he still is. What is, like, a lot of players did end up kind of sounding the same. And then obviously we were seeing people like Marvin going after Berkeley right now, and rightly so, I might add. I have watched those videos, and they are... Any one of those people in the videos would be a perfectly good guitar instructor at $35, $40 an hour, $50 an hour, right? The issue to me, obviously, with like Berkeley right now is... No, check it out. I wish I could remember his band. His name is Chris McQueen. He's gnarly. Can't stress that enough. But the issue to me with Berkeley is that you're paying $75,000 a year for it. I mean, if anyone was like, I want to go to music college right now, I would tell them to go to the University of North Texas. Because it's a real college that has a real music department in it. And you could get a real degree in any number of things. You could get a minor, honestly, the best possible minor in music I think you can get anywhere in the country would probably be at University of North Texas. So I'm not faulting my alma mater entirely here. They got issues like over prioritizing a stupid football program over the best music school in the nation. What? Lots of places have football programs. There really aren't that many other good music schools in the country right now. Like there's some serious weakness for sure. Is McQueen in Snarky Puppy? Is that the deal? He's in Snarky Puppy? Is that right? I mean, that does ring a bell. It's just like, I mean, like there were a lot of these like somewhat notable bands that I went to college with. I mean, like or like rubbed elbows with that. Like they're bigger by me than a lot now. It's just like, you know, for me, Charlie Crockett's a guy I used to talk to and smoke cigarettes out behind an open mic in Dallas, Texas for several years. And I'm not like humble bragging that. I'm just like literally saying like one day someone was like, oh yeah, Charlie Crockett. I was like, Charlie Crockett. And apparently, you know, I hadn't talked to him in a few years and his career is absolutely blown up. And good for him. He was a lovely guy back when I knew him. Had a weird girlfriend. She wore weird hats. Totally sidebar thing here. Let's do a couple more jams here. Are we still trying to, is that McQueen's band? McQueen's band is Snarky Puppy? That feels right. Dope. I can't recommend them enough. Yeah, like quick name drop. I doubt straight up, like don't be like, do you remember Chris Nombrino? I highly doubt McQueen remembers me. We played 2 shows together, not on the same bill, it was like a 2-band bill, so it's like not like, you know, like not like in a major festival setting, but I mean, if I'm remembered by Chris McQueen, I'm honored. That would be my total comment on that. Let's do some funk. Like I want to like, I don't know. I mean, I could do. It's like I feel like the last one was kind of Phrygian-y. It's like I don't know that I want to do more. I mean, aren't we always in a way? If we really put our mind to it, isn't everything in Phrygian? I like to think so.
I want to be rich.
Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No. Go to Geico.
All right, Affleck guy or Geico guy. I don't even know. My insurance animals. You gotta know your insurance animals. It's just like, okay, this is basically Thrill's gone. Yeah, right. UNT 5 o'clock. Yeah, go check it out. By all means. Yes. And it's the 5 o'clock lab band that is the best. I believe they are the award-winning band, like the Grammy award-winning. But yeah, for those of you interested, go and check him out. He is fantastic. I remember, as I said, I was completely mind blown by him watching him play. Let's do Phrygian position. Stay in that Phrygian. On a serious note, though, like if you're like kind of looking for another fun theory tip or whatever, I feel like people kind of sleep on the Dorian Phrygian kind of companion skill, especially for like minor blues. Thinking like, you know, here I'm in C minor, right? Right? So kind of this Dorian Phrygian thing is going to be setting up shop here, and it's mostly, if we're thinking about, here's my 4, C, F is my 4, right? This is going to be my Dorian position. This is my Phrygian position here at G. Mostly these are blue licks, and mostly these are green licks. And we can kind of glue them together too real easy. So, like, real easy turnarounds here that I like to do is, like, let's say we're on that Thrillers Gone style turnaround. Or, it's like there. I can start in the Dorian box, and then when it comes into this, we can get into our Phrygian dominant sort of modality here. So it's kind of a fun box for turnarounds. And a lot of times you find yourself wanting to go higher with phrasings anyways there. So that's a good one to kind of keep in mind here. The Hello Kitty guitar looks like the 60s Duosonic. All right, so this is not a Hello Kitty guitar. It is actually, Reverb had a sale a few months ago on these Indonesian Squire Strats, and I bought it for $125 plus shipping. Because I am trying to get better at soldering and understanding the wiring of guitars and all that stuff. This is in this sense, I am a self-taught luthier. So you can call me a self-taught luthier. You know what that means? I kind of suck, but I'm getting better. So I'm getting better, and unlike others who are self-taught, I am humble and earnest about where my skill level is at, and so that's going to allow me to continue to grow. So I bought this because I wanted to get in there, mess around with the wiring and stuff, and just kind of do some basic jobs on something that if, like, I don't know, for some reason things went tits up, this is not, something I was super emotionally attached to. But after sitting here and grinding away on this neck while watching like docu-series with the wife, I got this fretboard like playing pretty damn well for an Indonesian Strat. If you're interested, very fine steel wool on the back. And then to take care of your fret edges, because I am in New Mexico, so literally every single guitar runs into this issue. It does not matter of the workmanship. It's just a byproduct of humidity. Every single, that fret edging to get this to kind of pass that, they call it a tissue test or whatever. The wife wasn't pleased about this, but she's come around with it based on the results. I took her nail file, and I actually just, before I went and finished it off with the very fine steel wool, I just started doing the edges on this, because I'm going to be buffing all of that out anyways, but you also have a nail file, so it should kind of ride along the horns, like those extended horns of the fret fairly well. Once I finish doing that and kind of just going over this thing, rosewood oil and all that stuff, that plays pretty good. Would I like the frets a little taller? Yeah, sure. But am I going to refret this thing? Not yet. Maybe eventually. But not yet. It's perfectly good right now. The tuning heads sucked. So I replaced the tuning heads, and I want them to kind of match that dice aesthetic. But these are like $30 tuning heads. Again, that's just screws. You don't have to be a genius for that. The other big thing that I wanted to do, in part to sort of prove my case to others, is I wanted to do a reversed offset on this thing. So if you take a look, I've got a Seymour Duncan Strat style neck pickup and a Seymour Duncan style Telecaster pickup in here. But the most important thing about this is I am doing what I call the blessed offset. Some people might call the Hendrix offset, because Hendrix also kind of had this by default on his guitar. And I think that this is just the correct way for our pickups to be offset versus the way Fender does them. My thought being here, we want the thinner strings to have more saturation, more volume, more articulation. And if in just like the most simple terms here, the neck is going to have more volume than the bridge, right? This is why Rickenbacker 330s have choke knobs and all of that jazz in them. So what I did is I had a homie design a pickguard for me. It was kind of matching this dice aesthetic that I was settled in on. And, with the mismatching and all that stuff, I was like, oh, dice, let's tumble around with this thing. So this actually allows for these thinner strings to be warmer and for these bass strings to be thinner. And I think results in more of the sound that you're looking for, so even from a Telecaster standpoint. Like if you were looking for that Tele bite sound, it's like I want that E string of mine close to the bridge so it twang-a-langs more. So something feels ringy and shiny right now, but now the one thing I didn't realize with this guitar when I was doing the pickups, and it's just like an oversight. I knew when it happened, I was like, oh yeah, duh. But when I was just playing it out, I was like, well, what pickups do you want? I'm like, well, I want a Telecaster bridge, and I want the Fender neck sound. So what did I do? I ordered those two things, and I should have thought like for just like a split second and remembered, oh yeah, the whole reason why there's the 3 pickup sets is that mid pickup is in reverse polarity. That's what allows for the hum canceling. The Stevie tone is the fact that like the mid pickup cancels out the 2 and the 4, right? Just completely farted out of my brain. So what I have is almost like a greenie style configuration where you've got Tele, you've got that Fender style type of bite to it, and then in the middle it is phase canceled out greenie style. And initially I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And I will admit, without my compressor in the mix, it will sometimes be a bit quiet, depending, like, you know, on amp, blah, 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 blasey. But I actually love it with the compressor kind of like, because I use my compressor at a pretty light setting, but it mostly just like levels out volumes and kind of tames my phaser. With the compressor the way it is, I like it for rhythm and stuff. So like when I need to get into that, oh my god, I'm trying to do Sugar Magnolia. I'm like, like I really like it for like those sounds. So that's the deal. I did copper shielding on the inside, so this thing's pretty freaking quiet. Like it does not hum or anything like that. I've not changed the volume or like the tone knob or anything like that. So anyways, that's the story of King Dice here. Basically, I feel like some people get it, but you have to be of a certain age. Pink fuzzy dice. That's what's going on here with this. I don't mind if you say it's cute. I don't mind if you say I'm, if you question my manhood or whatever, like some people have on the videos. If anything, that means that I'm pretty enough that you think that I have to be gay. I'll take that. It doesn't bother me. Anyways, y'all. Thank you for hanging out on stream here today. We've been going, actually. I think this is the longest stream yet. So that's cool. If you guys got any questions or anything like that, please go ahead. Leave some questions for me. Drop a like, subscribe, all of this jazz here. I'll be back. Not right now, but right now I'm going to go get some lunch. But I will return, as I always do. So y'all take care, like, subscribe, and practice.